we're going to talk about installing MongoDB Community Edition and running a few basic Mongo commands from the Mongo CLI. The first thing you're going to want to do is open a browser and go to docs.mongodb.com/manual/installation. Identify your platform and go to the associated link. I'm running Mac OS, so I went to this link and followed their instructions. It's maybe 5 or 6 commands, and that should result in you having a new command available to you called Mongo. I'm not going to go through the installation details because they'll change per your platform. Now that you have Mongo installed and you're able to run Mongo, you'll see some metadata that gets printed out here. The important bit to note is this right here. You're running your Mongo server on your local host at port 27017. I recommend just noting that port right now that you have on your machine, and you're going to use it later on. It may be the same here, but it may change depending on the configuration of your installation. So the first thing we're going to do here is print help. This gives us a layout of all of the different help commands that we can ask Mongo to give us information on. The second section are top level commands that we can run directly. And then this first section are actually commands that give us more lists of help information. So if I run db.help, it's going to give me a whole list of different database commands I can run. But for now, we're just going to run this one, show dbs. You'll probably have a few databases by default with your installation, and I've created a few here already, MyDB, MyDB1, and MyDB2. But you don't need to worry about what's in here already. We're going to create a new one from scratch. So we're going to say use MyDB, and I'm going to say MyDB3. It says switch to MyDB3. If we run show dbs again, we're not actually going to see our database in here because there's no data in there yet. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say db dot create collection my collection. And it says OK. I'm going to say show collections. But before that, I'll say show databases again to show you that MyDB3 is actually here now that there's a collection there. We say show collections, and we see my collection in there, the one that we just created. Next, if we want to print what's in my collection, we say db.mycollection.find.pretty. And this asks Mongo to print the data in my collection in a nicely formatted way. Now we can see there's not actually anything in here, so we need to insert something. So let's ask DB how to do that. Let's say db.mycall.help per these instructions here to get information on what to do. It says call db.the name of our collection .insert with a document to insert. Now this document is just going to be a JSON object. Whoops. db.the name of our collection .insert. Inserted. Now let's check to see what data is there. We have our data. We have a unique ID for this document, and we have the data key, hello, and value world. Awesome. So at this point, we've basically shown how to get into the Mongo CLI and how to create a database, how to create a collection, which is basically just a category of data, and then how to actually create a record of data inside of the collection, and then print the data in the collection. And in the next video, we'll talk about creating a JavaScript to do some of this same work.